While some aspects of identity security are improving, other problems are persisting and new challenges are starting to crop up. TechTarget's Enterprise Strategy Group updated our identity security research to understand why. Identity security, or identity and access management, is a strategic focus for most enterprises and is primed to garner a larger share of that enterprise security budget. Our research showed that 86% of respondents' identity security budgets will increase significantly or slightly in the next 12 months. We looked at key aspects of identity security that are impacting spending plans, including workforce account and credential compromise, non-human identities, and identity policy. Workforce account or credential compromise is common and suspected. But this is a good news, bad news story. The numbers are actually improved over previous surveys. This research showed that 24% of the respondents know they've had workforce credentials compromised, and 26% suspect it has happened. But that's a significant improvement over last year when 45% knew they had experienced credential compromise and 32% suspected it. Passwords and social engineering are still problems, with users storing credentials in personal browsers, attacks against IT and help desk personnel to reset passwords or MFA access, and phishing or social engineering continue to be leading problem areas. This further substantiates the transition to strict mandatory MFA and passwordless authentication. A part of the identity security attack surface that is getting more enterprise attention is non-human identities, which you can call machine identities or workload identities. About 50% of respondents either know they have had non-human identities compromised or suspect this to be the case. And multiple machine or workload account compromises is the norm, with 79% experiencing multiple account or credential compromise and 19% experience 4 or more compromised events in the last 12 months. As enterprises recognize the exposure around non-human identity management, you're seeing a proliferation of solutions providing visibility, monitoring, response, remediation for non-human identities, as well as workload access management solutions and certificate lifecycle management, all of which fall under the umbrella of non-human identity management. Poor secrets management is the biggest contributor to machine or workload or credential compromise, with 48% of the respondents highlighting exposed secrets embedded in an application and 46% pointing to exposed keys or secrets stored in files or spreadsheets. On the topic of multi-factor authentication, or MFA, there's been a rapid shift towards widespread adoption. 94% enforce MFA for privileged users and 80% have mandatory MFA for the entire workforce. That's an increase from 62% that had MFA mandatory in August of 2023. Something that jumped out in the survey results is that identity security policies is a team sport, and purchasing decisions typically have multiple constituents. The survey provided details on the different personas involved, but underscored that solutions need to facilitate communications across the entire team. This research was comprehensive, with details around identity threat detection response, along with identity security posture management, the growth in workforce identities, as well as non-human identities, and their views of integrated platforms versus individual tools.